So just give us money so you could play the same game again.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Oh, the tentacle monster's back. Alrighty, after some refreshing coffee, your boys are back.
That's right. Wait, we had coffee?
I'm Zero.
I'm Mash.
And now we know what we're supposed to do. Because of course this game has to be a little bit cryptic every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, you know, what RPG isn't cryptic, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So apparently there used to be a guy blocking this door. I thought it was always just this guy here. So I gotta press square and... Am I losing my mind? Okay, we're gonna pause.
Moments later.
Okay, so in order to actually do this, I need 4 rookie level Digimon in my party. Ain't that some shit? Alright, so
Well,
let's
you better
start.
get to it.
Yeah, all I gotta do is move move my Digimon around. So Dracomon's already a rookie. He's good to go. Beelmon over here is also a rookie. That's 2. How many do I have over here? It's Galgamon. These are... There we go. Dracmon, he's a rookie. And Gilmon over here. Toyagumon, they're both rookies. I'll put Gilmon in here. 4 should do it. Alright, there we go, Mash. We got this. We're going for it. We're pulling it off.
This is happening right now, and you're witnessing it.
Okay, that's frustrating. I don't even understand why it took that, why I had to do that.
Oh man,
I feel like screaming.
that's some scummy stuff.
I feel like screaming.
Yeah, me too.
There you go. You get in there. Gilmon, you get in there too, you fucking thing. Biomon, you can't fit in there, so you're going back into the bank. Crestmon, there we go. And Mega Kabuterimon. Cool. Alright. We can actually continue. What a headache. So what do you think, Mash? You think this was a great idea? You think they probably should have told us, oh, to use this, you need 4 rookies.
No, I think that this RPG hasn't been nearly cryptic enough. In fact, just the fact that you're able to walk 5 feet without hitting an invisible wall, it's too accessible. We have to make sure that everything is a maze, everything is some kind of unsolvable riddle, and then we can call an RPG. This game is too linear. That's pretty much what my point is.
You're not necessarily wrong. I actually do agree that it's linear AF, but yeah, you know, it's actually been hasn't necessarily been that difficult to get through. You know, hasn't necessarily been the toughest.
Yeah, you'll have to forgive your old pals, the 2 stupid gamers, because sometimes when you know, talk about things while you're playing games, you get a little bit distracted. Hey,
100%.
I would challenge you to have a full conversation with someone while you're in the middle of playing a game that needs you to read text. You'll get confused too. It'll happen.
100%. All right, I think Dracomon's actually at his like highest level. So let me go ahead and see if I can get him to Coerdramon again. All right, let's have it. Look at this. Yes. Rawr. Love it. His ABI is 16 now. And I have exceeded. So I have to move Mega Kabuterimon again. Alright, let's try to... Let's see if we're actually any close. So ABI is perfect now. Excellent. Now I just need him to get to level 30, and his speed needs to raise up to 95. Where is it now? Well, I have a long way to go. We have a long way to go. He's at 60. He needs to be at 95 for it. But we'll get there.
Okay, so we have to do a lot of grinding here, so we gotta pull up some more stories. Any other movies we've watched? What other movies have we seen lately?
John Wick.
You saw John Wick?
Yeah.
Oh man, I want to watch that. How was
It's
it?
actually not bad. So, a friend of mine who's actually helped me film a couple things for this channel, Lynn, she's a fan of the John Wick series and had actually given me some she assisted me in finding a way to watching the first 3, let's just say that. And I did, in anticipation for John Wick 4. I figured she'd want to watch it, so I was like, yo, come on, let's go see this. It's coming out soon. So I watched the first, second, and third. They were pretty good. I enjoyed them. And then the fourth one was just... They really understood that, especially through all the John Wick movies, they can't all just be action, 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 a little bit of dialogue and action, action, action. You gotta break it up with a little bit of, you know, comedy every once in a while. And I enjoyed that. I still dude, also there's an amazing scene in John Wick 4 where when he's in a building, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. It reminds me of a video game, and when you watch it, you'll be like, holy crap. It's like they played that game that I like so much and literally put it into the movie, and it works so well as an action scene. It's just, it's perfect, in my opinion.
Great. Now I gotta watch 3 movies so then I can watch another movie so I can see that scene that you're not telling me about because you want me to see it.
I mean, I'm telling you, I think you...
I probably would. I like Keanu Reeves. I do like some action movies. Look, I really liked The Matrix 1. I was told that I didn't need to watch 2, and I didn't need to watch 3, and...
Am I the
probably
only
shouldn't
one
watch
seeing
4.
this thing over my head?
What?
There's like this triangle thing over my head. I don't know what it is.
Yes, I do.
It's a little weird. I don't know what it is.
It's a crosshair. Someone's aiming for you. It's John Wick.
Oh no. He must have found out that I pet his dog without his permission.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. The concept of watching 3 movies to then watch a 4th one is just like, that's a lot for me. I'm trying to watch more movies. I have more access to streaming services than I've ever had in my life. I'm actually watching things now for like the past like several years. I never really watched things. Well, now I do. And I kind of thought to myself, like, this would be a great time to kind of just try and watch some movies. I didn't get a chance to watch it while it was still on Hulu, but because I think they just took it off. But I really, really wanted to watch The Mummy. That was a movie that was intriguing from when I was a kid, and everybody loves The Mummy, like looking back at it. And even though it's supposed to be, I guess, kind of scary, there's like a lot of funny stuff about it. So I was looking forward to rewatching The Mummy, but I think they took it off. It's unfortunately a shitty part of streaming services that at some point they'll just take things out, and you're like, oh man, I wish that was still here. I want to see it.
Oh my god, dude, I'm sorry. I mean, I hate it when that happens. Cause you end up thinking to yourself, like, wait, why'd it have to go? Like, I'm paying for this service, come on. It's frustrating, is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand why they have to do it, but at the same time, it's just like, it's unfortunate. I missed my chance to watch The Mummy. I'll probably still be able to watch it some other way, you know. I'll just have to find a copy or whatever. I recently went to visit my family, and I got a couple of my my old possessions back. One of those was a DVD. I think I got it for like $10 or $15 of the Police Academy series, and
Oh
it's
my god.
8 movies. They had 8 Police Academy movies. I've seen 2. I've seen the first 2. I'm on like a lifelong mission to see if I can sit through the rest of them, but yeah.
Dude, there's 8 of those? God damn.
Yeah. Yeah. 8 movies. I mean, I watched the first one, very good. I watched the second one, not quite as good. Actually kind of quite bad, to be honest. And I never got around to it, but I did want to watch also the rest of them, 3 through 8. I'll eventually do it.
It's something that you really have to like put in time for. It's something you got to plan for. Something to be like, all right, look, I got nothing planned for today. I'll watch one of the Police Academy movies. And hell, you could even do it in bits and pieces. You don't have to watch it all the way through in one sitting.
Yeah, I'm starting to recognize that now. Oh man, that happened to me recently because it was late and I didn't really want to go to. So it was late. I wasn't really sleepy just yet, so I started to watch things on. I don't know if it was Hulu or Netflix, whatever. And it was a movie, and it fascinated me because it's a movie starring Nicolas Cage. And I never heard of it before, and maybe this will be good. Nicolas Cage. Sometimes he's really good, sometimes whatever. It's just funny to see him do stuff. And I just started to watch the movie, and yeah, like bits and pieces is a great strategy. But for this one, I got to a certain scene, and I meant to come back to it, but I don't think I want to watch the rest of the movie.
Oh no.
It was just one of the things that Nicolas Cage is known for is having like very
Cringe moments.
dramatic kind of outbursts, I guess. And in this one, I'm pretty sure I've seen clips of it before, but it was just so comical that it ruins the tone of the rest of the movie, and the way that it interjects to the action that's happening at that time just makes me think like, man, this movie is terrible. Like, it's just bad. The scene was funny though.
I mean, that's unfortunate. It sucks that you get to a point in a movie where you're just like, man, I think I'm clocking out. I can't do this anymore. It sucks when that happens. And sometimes when that happens, I guess that's just like, that's when you know this is bad.
Yeah.
Talking about movies, I'm a big fan of the Home Alone series. 1 through 3, they were good. And I'll fight anyone who says, anything bad of any of the first 3, because I think they were all good. I mean,
Wait,
sure.
hold on, before you continue,
Yes.
were all of them starring Macaulay Culkin?
The third one, no.
Okay.
The third one
Well,
was a
then I
completely
don't care
different.
about that one.
The third one was a completely different kid. However, it still had the comedy. It still had the funny moments. And I kind of liked that it was a different setting. Because at this point, how is the same kid gonna keep running into the same fucking robbers and getting into the same situation? I mean, they pulled it off with the second one, and it was just as good, if not better, than the first.
My friend,
But a
you
third
have to have
time is rough.
suspension of disbelief. That is how fiction works. You just gotta believe that he keeps running into them. That's just how it has to be.
Anyway, I still enjoyed the third one. I watched it several times when I was young, and I actually would not mind watching it now as an adult.
It's the kid that he had like the bowl cut.
Yes,
Yeah.
the old '90s bowl cut, and he had a parrot that could actually talk, and the parrot kind of became his like little companion.
Because I remember watching a movie with Home Alone, but it wasn't Macaulay Culkin. Weren't the robbers like some kind of like French lady, and it wasn't the two original guys.
Nope, it was definitely it was all new. Everybody was new.
Okay.
I
see.
And
Okay.
I appreciated it. I forgot what it was that the robbers were after. It wasn't anything in the kid's house. It was just the fact that the robbers were hiding or trying to do something malicious, and the kid was like, you're not getting away from me." Like, I'm forgetting what it was.
I don't remember 2, but I definitely remember 1, and one of the ones starring that kid, the second Home Alone kid. I don't know if it was the third one or if it was another one.
Sorry, what do you mean starring the Home Alone kid? What do you mean? I'm confused.
So starring the second Home Alone kid.
You saw another movie with him?
I mean, I'm not sure because all I remember is seeing 2 Home Alone movies. The very first one that was starring Macaulay Culkin, and another one that wasn't Macaulay Culkin. I'm assuming it's the third one.
It has to
but
be the
I don't
third
know.
one. Because if you saw it before 2000, it definitely has to be, the third one.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna actually mention about Home Alone 4. because they went back to Kevin McAllister. The problem is that it wasn't Macaulay Culkin. He was already old. Like, he was getting older. You can't use him anymore. So they cast a new kid. And they recast the whole family, basically. And instead of them living in that big old mansion, they're living in like in a small house. And the dad like divorced the mom, and you know, to get with like this other woman that's like super rich. And dude, it was pretty bad. Like, I tried to suspend my disbelief while watching, because I'm like, look, it's a different kid, sure, whatever. But they did it for the third one. Why not give this thing a try? Dude, it was so bad. It was really difficult to get through. But again, it was like 2000, 2001 when they made that movie. And I'm like, I gotta see it. I never saw it. I'm curious what it is. This movie has the feel of, wow, this went straight to DVD, didn't it? This did not appear in theaters. I can guarantee that. No one watched it and said, this needs to be on a big old screen. This came straight to VHS, straight to DVD. And they tried to just cash in the Home Alone name as quickly as possible. And it shows in the movie, man. It was, I forced my way through it, and I regret it.
I can't remember the last time I did that with a movie. Like, sit through a bad movie just to get through the rest of it.
I was on this kick. This was during like the initial phases of the pandemic, where I had access to Disney Plus, and I said to myself, all right, all these movies I never got to see when I was young because I moved to the Dominican Republic, I'm going to watch them now. It's gonna happen. I want to see what I missed. I want to see if I can feel anything like, you know, any enjoyment out of it. And some movies, yeah, some Disney Channel movies are actually really good. There was this one where a kid accidentally clones himself. I thought that was amazing. Well, not amazing. It was entertaining, more like. I enjoyed that movie. I watched, I think it was Surf Girl. It reminded me of Johnny Tsunami, but like if it was a girl, and instead of the girl leaving Hawaii, she's going to Hawaii, and it was a cute little movie. I enjoyed it, you know, for what it was. I rewatched one or two movies that I saw back in the day that I sort of forgot. There was another really bad movie, actually, called, I think it was the Flashpoint. And it had to deal with, like, this kid's parents de-aging by accident because they wanted to go back in time, but instead the parents were de-aging. But instead of the parents actually getting younger, they were still adults, but acting like babies. It was so bad. And I pushed my way through it, and I said, all right, it was bad, but not to the point where like I had to tear my eyes out. And then Home Alone 4 came up. And I said, all right, let me push my way through it. Dude, I had to go through 3 different sittings to do it. It was really bad. I regret the time I wasted on that movie.
I'm actually just looking this up because I'm curious. No, it definitely wasn't 4.
Nope, it was not 4. I'm telling you it wasn't, man. You didn't watch it, I didn't watch it, and it was for a good reason.
The second one, I don't know. I don't remember if I saw the second one. I know that it's so weird though, because when it comes to the Super Nintendo games, I don't remember playing Home Alone 1, but I remember playing Home Alone 2.
Oh god.
But I can't remember if I actually watched Home Alone 2 or not.
Do you remember the character running through the streets of New York?
No. I legitimately think I've never seen Home Alone 2. Just the first one and then the third one.
Well, you know what's gonna happen now, right? Christmas season, your place. We're watching Home Alone 2. I don't want to hear excuses.
We're gonna get lost in New York? Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
This chick literally went nyan at the very end. What the heck? Are we in anime territory now?
As of 18 episodes, what the hell are you talking about?
19.
19.
Yes. Come on, Mash. I know you can count.
Not so much lately.
Oh, God. No, but seriously, I really do love the Home Alone series. I know that they came out with a Home Alone 5, but dude, after Home Alone 4, I am just, like, terrified. I don't even want to touch it. I am terrified of the idea of them trying to butcher an amazing series like Home Alone. Terrified.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many series like that though, because Hollywood is just full of
Money-hungry assholes.
yeah, and you know, sometimes though
Oh, fuck.
sometimes though it does work. Like if they do end up going for it, and I have to eat a bit of crow because I recently got the Resident Evil 4 remake,
Oh my
which
god.
is
Mister, no,
yeah.
it didn't need a remake.
Yeah, I went back on my word. Hey, desperate times call for desperate measures. I'm like, what the hell do I stream? It's April. Well, that's what I wanted to stream. Actually, I think it came out in like March, but that's besides the point. I ended up getting it. I thought it would make good content just to kind of like play the game and give my commentary on it. But what's sort of like ended up happening was it's not. I'm not going back on it didn't need to be a remake. I'm not saying that it's better than the original. I'm not even saying that it's great overall, but I'm definitely having fun, and I'm just like enjoying seeing what else they've done with the rest of it. So I want to see if maybe I could stream the rest of it, if I'll have enough time to do that. If not, I'll just play it in my own time. But I definitely want to finish it just to see how it compares to the rest of the first game. Well, the rest of the original game. It's like it's almost like being on a roller coaster where every I don't know, like 30 feet, the roller coaster just comes to a complete stop, and then it's like, oh, there's another roller coaster adjacent to our roller coaster right now that's exactly like this roller coaster.
Oh.
Okay, forget about that. We're going forward again. Because they like there's bits and pieces that are very similar that are almost one to one, and then the parts in between them are completely different. It almost feels like I'm playing like Dead by Daylight or something. Like that's what it looks and feels like to me. And then suddenly you find yourself, oh, the graveyard. I remember the graveyard, or the village. We're in the village, or this, or whatever, the lake. And yeah, I have to like I gotta eat a little bit of crow. I don't hate the Resident Evil 4 remake as much as I did before it came out. I actually have enjoyed it quite a bit.
I mean, I'm glad you're enjoying it. That's important.
Still didn't need to exist, mind you. They still should have just gave it to Code Veronica or whatever, some other Resident Evil. Maybe there's another one we don't know about, but like, I don't know. It still didn't need to be made, but they made it, and now that they did, I got it, and I'm playing it, so fight me.
I mean, I'm not gonna fight you. But no, it's good that you're still enjoying something that, even though you still think like, oh, it didn't need to exist. I'm gonna actually eat some crow as well. This crow is gonna be quite tasty. When they first announced that they were making a new Crash game back in like I think it was 2016. They announced that they were working on a new Crash game. I still remember this guy coming out with Crash's silhouette, or more like his shadow. And I was thinking, oh my god, Crash is back. Oh my god. Like, I'm losing my mind. I'm having a heart attack, right?
Right.
The guy announces, yeah, we're bringing back Crash 1, 2, and 3 remade from the ground up for PS4. And my heart sank. Initially, my heart sank. Because to me, the Crash games were good. They don't need to be redone. They don't need to be like remastered or HDified. They're good as they are. They look good for what they are. They play good for what they are. I didn't back at that instant. I didn't think like why would they need to do that? And then I swallowed my pride, soon after and said, you know what? This is still good. This is showing interest for the Crash games. This is likely not going to stay a PS4 exclusive, which means it's going to go to other systems, which means it's going to sell more, which means that they're probably going to do more with Crash later. So I had to basically swallow my pride and say, this is likely a necessary step for Crash to really come back and for us to get like a new game.
That's kind of where your argument like does not really apply to what I'm going through though, because to be completely 100% perfectly honest, I don't really care about any of the new Resident Evil games because they now make them in first person, which to me just isn't Resident Evil. And outside of Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2, and Resident Evil 4, I just don't care about any of the other Resident Evil games. And I don't care for them to make any more because I don't really trust Capcom to make like a good Resident Evil game the way that I remember them. Not like these kind of first person horror games, but like these third person horror games where there's like a dark place that you're in and you have to solve puzzles and then also fight zombies, but also solve puzzles and figure out your way to like navigate in like this dreadful oppressive environment. I don't think that they're going to make another game that's going to hit the mark that original Resident Evil 1, original Resident Evil 2, original Resident Evil 4 did. So I really don't care. I don't care if Capcom gets more money and we'll make a Resident Evil 9 and we'll do third person this time. Like I have no interest in that. I'm just saying morbid curiosity compelled me, and also because to stream it, but morbid curiosity mostly compelled me to get Resident Evil 4, and I did, and I'm not completely disappointed. I actually had some fun with it so far, so
I mean, that's what's up though. It's good that you're having fun with it. It's good that you decided to try it out.
yeah.
What I was gonna say is, oh wow, there's Kurisarimon. Yeah, so after the Crash remakes were released, I tried them out and I'm like, wow, they definitely feel different than what I'm used to, because when you play a game as many times as I have, and I'm pretty sure you're the same way, you kind of want it to stay the same when you play like any remakes. Crash 1, 2, and 3 remakes, the Insane trilogy, absolutely feels different from the originals, but not in a horrible way. The game works the way it's supposed to work, and it looks great, and the animations are great, and as a matter of fact, some things that were broken in previous ones actually got fixed. Like, in Crash 2, there's a boss battle where you're supposed to be throwing Wampa fruit at the boss, in order to deal damage. In the original Crash 2, they weren't able to get the animation in. So it released, and all you did while, running back and forth, sideways in that boss battle, you would throw Wampa fruit, but it would literally come out of Crash's ass, like his hip or his ass or like his front side, and there's no animation attached to it. It's just Wampa fruit flying towards the enemy. And I always found that to be weird when I played that as a kid. Like, wait, why? Where's the Wampa fruit coming from? Why is it just coming out of him? What's going on? Years later, I end up learning they didn't have enough memory to do it. They didn't have enough time to optimize it. It just needed to go. So when they released the Insane Trilogy, I was like, I wonder if they kept it how it was in the original or if they actually put in the animation. Of course they did. So now you actually see Crash hurling Wampa fruit the way it was supposed to be. And I'm like, that's the sort of thing I appreciate. I like that. They also added a few little Easter eggs. Well, not Easter eggs, just a few little extra things. Like now you can play as Coco, Crash's sister, in all 3 games. The way they explained it is, hey, the third one's about time travel. Why can't you just go back in time and help her brother in the first 2 games? And I'm like, that's fucking genius. I like that they did that.
See, again, the comparison still does kind of fall short because, like, if we're talking about Crash Remake, Resident Evil 4 Remake, that's like a jump from PS1 to PS4. This is a jump from PS2, maybe late PS2, to like PS4, or I guess technically PS5 now. It's just Resident Evil 4, the original version, was modern enough that it doesn't really need any kind of improvements. I would say that it's a perfect game the way it already was. Yeah, it looks jankier and not 100% nice by today's standards, but I played it on the PC. It's a PS2 game. It looks really good on PC. You just got to get like, a good graphics card, whatever, and you're going to have a really nice game that already has all the stuff the way it should be. So they're really just, any way you looked at it, Resident Evil 4 Remake existing purely for the money.
Oh,
that was
absolutely.
the only reason it was made. There was absolutely zero reason that it needed to be made than to fill up, the pockets of Capcom and their investors. Because Resident Evil 4 by itself just stands up. And even this remake, like I said, I am enjoying it, but it does not even compare to the original. Like, the original is so much fucking better. And that's why I almost feel like from the perspective of if we could just put money aside and capital aside, just from the perspective as creators, it's why would you even bother to do that? It would be like trying to recreate, I don't know, trying to recreate like a perfect song that came, like a really good song from like the 80s that came out at the right time by the right group of people. It had the right production, and then trying to make it today, and it's like, yeah, it'll be remixed, but it'll be retro. It'll have to be kind of like a looking back song. It'll have to be 80s, but today. And it's just never really going to hit the same note as it did back in the 80s. The way that Resident Evil 4 was packaged and it was created, like, you're not really gonna outdo that just by putting like a shiny coat of paint on it. And turning it, and also my biggest criticism, turning it into The Last of Us. So.
I was actually going to say a remake that I actually really think did not need to happen was definitely The Last of Us Part 1.
Yeah.
It was just not a necessity. Like, people say, like, oh my god, it looks so much better now, it plays so good. And I'm thinking to myself, guys, it's a PS3 game that got an HD bump in the PS4 era. Why would you need a PS5 version of it? Like, I was finding it really difficult to like say, yeah, this needed that fresh coat of paint or that extra work.
Yeah.
I just didn't agree. And I'm still like that today. There are people that ate that shit up. They're just like, oh my god, it looks so much better. It animates different. Some of the things are like, a few little things are different, but they didn't change the story. They didn't change the puzzles, at least not to my understanding. Maybe the gameplay's a tad tighter, but it's the exact same game. Like,
most notably about The Last of Us, not the remake, not Last of Us Part 1, which I also hate that they did that. But anyway, most notably about Last of Us PS3 version compared to the HD PS4 version, they actually kind of fucked up the multiplayer to the point that it got hacked on the PS3, and it was like unplayable if you wanted to take it seriously. So when the PS4 version came out, it was like, well, this one's not hacked, so if you want to play Last of Us multiplayer again, you might as well put your copy down and buy a PS4 copy. And I thought that was really shitty,
instead of fixing the problem, they just kind of left it there and said, hey, here's another version that now you have to buy.
Yeah, and it was essentially the same game. The PS3 version, PS4 version, the only difference was that they upgraded, like they up-resed it. So it was just now, because these leaderboards are on PS4, we're going to take the stability of it more seriously. So just give us money so you could play the same game again.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Oh, the tentacle monster's back. This is not fun. Please don't make us fight it. We've been on the internet long enough to know where this is going. Oh, yeah, we gotta fight it. Alright. Alright, Mash. Bend over and kiss our asses. Well, let's both bend over and kiss our asses goodbye, because this is not gonna be an easy fight.
Well, it makes me happy that when we do these playthroughs, you have the controller, so you can do the bending over, and I'll just sit here and take a look at how something about Ryan Reynolds. I think I actually saw Ryan Reynolds once.
In person?
I think he walked by me one time.
Did you brush shoulders with him?
No.
Did you orgasm from it?
It happened really fast. Every once in a while, you kind of like run into someone that's famous, but they zip by. Famous people, they're not less like us regular average Joes. We walk at a plebeian pace. We're
Plebeian.
commoners. Yeah, the ultra elite famous, rich celebrities, nah, they got places to go. They walk really fast. So it was kind of like you got to see Jim Gaffigan do stand up, and I'm really jealous. But
Oh.
I walked by Jim Gaffigan. I swear it was him. Maybe I'm like 2%. I could be wrong, but I can swear that was him. And by the time I turned around, man was gone. He's not only is he a polar bear, he is a fast polar bear.
He's gonna get you. I mean, I did get to see him live last year in Vegas because of the convention I had to go to for my job, and it was pretty good. Again, it wasn't his best performance, but it was good. Unfortunately, I did get to go to Vegas again. That's not the unfortunate part, but he was not there to do stand-up again, and I don't think they had another stand-up comedian doing stuff there this year. So, I think the closest I ever got to like being next to like a big celebrity was, of course, you know, when I meet these voice actors, but I'm talking about like movie actors, was maybe Chris Tucker, because in 2002 my family and I actually walked by where Chris Tucker was, I think, filming in Washington DC, and my family recognized him, so we started yelling out his name like, "Hey, how you doing? Hello!" And he like waved at us and stuff, but that was practically as close as we got. Like, it wasn't like actually walking by him.
You're probably not the first person that did that day.
Yeah, it's probably the closest, man. Oh, so let me actually get into a little bit about my time in Vegas. So yeah, while I was in Vegas, I had to go there for work. I ended up going to some game stores. I actually posted about it on our Discord. If anybody wants to, you know, go ahead and, you know,
Really?
actually join it.
You don't say.
You know, join our Discord. It's fun.
Is that right?
Posted about it. And yeah, I found some games, and I asked Mash over here if he wanted anything for his Sega Saturn. So, Mash, would you like to talk about that special game that you wanted?
Yeah, so you texted me. I find like whenever I go to games like retro game stores, they don't have a great selection of Saturn games. So it's always like there's maybe one game I want, and then the rest is just stuff I'm not interested. Well, in the photo that you sent me, the one that I wanted was a very nostalgic game for me called Bug! Exclamation point. I almost feel like maybe we featured it on the channel or something like that.
It was
but
probably a demo.
yeah, I have the demo disc, but just to have the original copy of it with the case, with the actual disc,
With the manual.
the manual, yeah, I was stoked. So I'm looking forward to getting my hands on it and add it to my collection. There's only like a handful of Saturn games that I have, and at this point, I'm pretty much getting just the really important ones to me, the ones that cost a lot of money. But
Unfortunately.
yeah. And speaking of that, I was looking at. Okay, so what if I wanted to get Resident Evil 2 for the Saturn, right? That would be so dope.
That's a thing?
Yeah, Resident Evil 2 on the Saturn.
I did not know.
It was also on the 64. But for the Saturn, they had Resident Evil 2, and I was like, man, these prices are ridiculous. It's like 200, you know, 250, 260, whatever. I'm like, this is crazy. And I found one that's like, oh, it's like $36. Like, holy crap! It looks in amazing condition. You get everything. And I was a little bit suspicious because it came from Etsy. So I was like, wait a minute. I don't know Etsy sold games.
Yeah, they do
And,
sell games on Etsy.
What?
Yeah, they sell games on Etsy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. This was not the game. This was a replica. So someone recreated the entire game cartridge manual and CD. Like, you know, they just recreated, so it's like a one-to-one reproduction of it, but it's not legit. So I was like, well, I guess I could buy that. It's only, maybe it wasn't $36, maybe it was a little bit more. Like, it's only like 40, 50 bucks. I could at least put it on my shelf next to the other Saturn games, and it looks like it's a real game. But then I'm like, but it's just not real. It's fake. You know? It's like a game cosplay.
That's
So, yeah.
that's some shit. It's funny you mentioned that because I remember going through Etsy and seeing that people were recreating like cases for Vita games, cases for PlayStation 1 games.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes you only have the disc from when you're a kid and you're like, I want the whole thing. So sometimes it's kind of worth it, because for what people want for complete copies or even just the cases sometimes, it's a bit much. And this
Yeah.
is a pretty good alternative, I won't lie.
Yeah. It's tough. I actually have a situation which I hope won't lead into another tangent because a game came out related to this, but I have an opposite situation where I have the case, but I lost the game, and I was really mad at
no.
myself. Yeah, it was my copy of Advanced Wars Dual Strike. I can't find it anywhere, but that was... I want to say that that was my favorite game on the DS. I played it the most. It's like it's super nostalgic for me, and I would love to have a copy of it on cartridge. But unfortunately, I guess I just misplaced it. Maybe I lent it to someone, but I don't have it. I searched my collection top to bottom, and I just couldn't find it.
That's unfortunate, man. I would have lost my shit because I hate losing stuff. I try my best not to put things in places where they're just difficult to find or like hidden. I always try to keep in mind, like, all right, I left this here, I left this here, I left that there. I should be good to go. So hearing, like, if I were in your situation, I'd be really pissed. It actually did happen to my brother and I once. Because in 2002, while in DC, we stopped by a flea market, a garage sale actually. And these people were selling off some old stuff. But in 2002, some of the stuff wasn't really that old. One thing that we ended up picking up for, I think it was $10, was Pokemon Yellow for the Game Boy. Yeah, for the Game Boy. And my brother was ecstatic because he's always wanted Pokemon Yellow, but we never had a Game Boy. So we now have the game. All we need to do is, you know, one day get a Game Boy or a freaking Game Boy Advance and we'll be set to go, right?
Yeah.
About 6 months to a year later, I remember we took it with us to like a family member's house. We played it on their Game Boy Color that they had. And I don't know if my brother left it in there or left it at that house or somehow lost it, but it was gone. After that visit, I don't remember ever seeing it again. And I just kept thinking to myself, wow, how could we have lost that thing? My brother was so attached to it. He loved that thing so much, and I was just poof, disappeared.
Hey, call back to that story I told about how I lost a really important thing that a family member made for me.
Oh yeah,
And,
that drawing, right?
Yeah, to this day, it's like it was like the coolest thing that happened to me as a kid, and yet at the same time, it's just gone forever. Like I'll never find it again. But these things happen.
It's unfortunate. That's what it really is. Jeez, man. It sucks when you're a kid. You love something so much and it just disappears, man. It sucks. And I'm almost curious, like how, like if I were to be able to go back in time, like it would be awesome if I can just go and be like, all right, I'm gonna make sure little me finds it. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in his pocket, put it in his backpack, make sure I put it in like my mom's purse or whatever, something like that, just so like it just doesn't disappear.
Yeah. Well, you know what's not gonna suck?
What?
When we're gonna get to go see Streetlight Manifesto this summer.
She.
They're doing a show for the 20th anniversary of one of their biggest, one of their best albums. Yeah, they're gonna be doing a show this summer, and we both went to a ska show recently for the first time, technically speaking. Like, because there was a ska band playing, so I guess you'd consider it a ska show. But I've never, like, just gone to, like, a ska concert, and I've been a fan of Streetlight Manifesto since YouTube introduced me to them. Like, they just came up in the algorithm, and I was like, whoa, who's this amazing band? And, you know, it's just one of the bands that I would, like, throw into rotation every once in a while. So, yeah, I believe they're promoting the anniversary of Everything Goes Numb, which is, like, a phenomenal album, and we got tickets for that.
Heck yeah. I'm not even gonna lie. I sort of forgot because you texted me. I think it was last week about it, and I'm like, oh wow, that'd be great. But again, that's like later in June, so I can't wait. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, last time I was at an actual like ska concert, specifically just ska concert, not just like one band playing ska. Which back in January, that was a lot of fun. Magfest. Not gonna lie, one of the best conventions I've ever gone to. Wow, this thing really doesn't want to end. 2015, man. 2015, I saw. Yeah, I think it was Real Big Fish, and Less Than Jake, and a new band that I found that was opening for them, Ballyhoo. They're more like a reggae rock band, but I still kind of consider them ska-ish. Pretty good. Oh, look at that. Little Miss Fainty Faint is out of the hospital. With Memeton, that thing that she almost broke.
I still want to know if that whale is real.
I don't think it is. It's just a toy. It has to be a toy. How are you going to tell me that you can get a whale that small to stay outside? Well, then again, that's right. Whales actually breathe oxygen. They don't breathe through water.
Also, this is the Digimon universe. So, anything can happen. Right?
Very true, but oh my god. Alrighty then, Erika. Cool. Doesn't it bother you? Yes, you keep talking. So yeah, we're coming close to the end of the episode. Hopefully.
But not close enough to not talk about the Streetlight Manifesto show that we're going... No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Where are you going to go?
I was hoping you'd jump in, actually. So when you did, I'm like, oh, he can read my mind. And then you failed me.
No, I can jump in and I can make
I
can make a quippy one-liner.
Please do.
That was the quippy one-liner. That's my contribution. Now, yeah, we could just... Did you know, speaking of buying things, apparently a sealed copy of Everything Goes Numb on vinyl goes for $100. Wow.
That's pretty rough.
And it came out August 2003, so yeah, that would be about the 20th anniversary of this album. Phenomenal. I really like it. Again, I'm not like a huge concert guy. I haven't gone to like a million concerts in my life, but I really like when bands do a tour for the album. So then you already know that they're going to play like the whole album, and if it's an album you like, then even better. So you kind of know like what to expect.
Hooray! Okay, so new trophy, a bunch of messages. Let me go through them as we end the episode. I'm quite excited for the Streetlight Manifesto concert. I'm gonna have to look up that album and get myself acquainted with all those songs.
You will not regret it.
I doubt I will. They're such a popular band. Their music has to be good. What's up? Cool. So yes, I'm looking forward to it. Definitely got to get myself ready for it, but we want to thank you guys for putting up with our crap. This episode was not supposed to last this long. I made the stupid mistake of running forward and knowing very well that there was going to be a cutscene. So, thank you guys for putting up with us.
Yeah, thank you guys for sticking out. We enjoy talking about stuff. We hope you enjoyed this 19th episode in our playthrough of Digimon. We'll be back for plenty soon. So stick around. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on our next video.
That's right, everyone. Take care. We'll see you next time.